Yes, I did it.
Oh
Yay.
my God, you're so beautiful. I
You.
miss you.
I want to hug you so bad.
Oh my God. I just saw you and like my stomach dropped because I'm like aching. Oh my God. Okay, so I love you. I'm happy. Thank you for joining this little IG Hustlers at Home
Such a good idea.
situation. What the hell is going on in your life right now, girl?
Oh, well, I mean, mostly I'm good. Mostly I feel so grateful for this opportunity. Um, Zeus is like passed out next to me. Like, this is his home stretch. And the fact that I'm home with him every single day, and it's like, wow, what a gift. I'm diving in deep with my relationship with Sophia.
Mm,
That's been rewarding and juicy, and I don't know, I can't speak for other couples out there, but what a gift to be able to just go even deeper in this relationship that I already love so much. So that's been beautiful. But then you have those days where you wake up and you're like, what is actually going on right now? And I have this, like feeling like and like you also have, like we have a beast that lives inside of us and it needs to come out. And I miss so much about what my day was like, because I loved everything that I did. So
I know, isn't it? By the way, the relationship thing is something I was literally just talking to Alex about because he asked about Drew. And I was like, honestly, like as a newly married person, I'm just like, thank God. I'm going to look back and say, thank God I had 2 months with my husband where I could just be like, hello, partner for my life. Like,
yeah,
let's be here together. And for us, that's been really beautiful. It's nice to hear that's also what you and Sophia are experiencing.
I mean, we sat down and because we have two extremes, right? She was gone for a whole year. So I had the house to myself, my routines, like my way of living, and also became accustomed to the fact that she would always leave, even when she did come home. There was something that I found personally that I loved about it. I need my space too. Like it was working fine. So like the first few weeks, I'm like, aren't you gonna leave? Like, don't you have somewhere to be? Like, why are you here? So to go from never seeing one another to constantly seeing each other has just been a very eye-opening, and fortunately for us, in a very beautiful way.
Well, tell my prima I said hi. I will say, like, we were going to go to Burning Man together this summer, and now that's been canceled. So we just have to plan, like maybe we will take a real road trip to J-Lo's house. we need like at least a long weekend, and Jen Michael in tow, and Brian in tow, and Sophia in tow, and Drew in tow, and just like we got to do something, because we do have that like that part of us that just needs to like
Yeah.
let the chains off and like stop boxing me in, and I just want to live.
The other day I was walking Zeus, and I was like, I would rather trek through the Serengeti right now than go back home. I would go now.
Well, I know, like you're waiting for any adventure, even if the adventure involves like for those of y'all who don't know, I did this show Migrations back in the day with National Geographic, and I did trek through the Serengeti, and it was not a vacation, but we'll take any adventure that comes our way right now.
I mean, I want that. And you know what I really miss more than anything is the stage. I miss the stage. Like that has always been where I go to let that out, to, as Sophia would say, like she has to literally scream, right? Every day. She has to open up and let that sound fly out. I don't know if ours comes out in the form of sound. It's kind of like just like this ball of kinetic energy, but I am just like about to go put on shows for my neighbors. Like, I don't know. I just am like, I need people to clap for me. I don't know what to say. I need
That is so real. I took a sweat steady of yours, two actually. I took 130 and 145. The 31 was hard. Oh my God, I almost died. But I took in the 45-minute from January. You talked about how Sophia called you from Jakarta and was about to go on stage, and you're like, I'm about to go on stage, and you had this honest, like vulnerable, like cry moment, and then and then you get on our stage, and then you're able. There's some kind of catharsis that happens for us that, you know, we hope is received by the members, and that cyclical thing is like so real. So I totally hear what you're saying. Is like we need to be able to get out all this stuff.
Yeah. And while it might feel or sound like a selfish thing, and it is, however, the purpose and intention behind that is an act of service. And I think that's the feeling that eats me up the most is I feel helpless. I feel like that the way that I serve the world, I can't access in the way that it used to be. So it's redefining how to do that, because I don't feel limited. I'm just like, it's different now. But there's this deep, deep need to tell people that they are loved, that they can move their body and change the way that they feel. And yes, this is very depressing. Human despair is a normal thing. And it's also a really fine line. So move, please. Like, I implore you to move. And when we're on the bike, we do that. We lead by example. We're like showing up for things. And when I speak for myself, when I can't do that, when I can't get that word out, when I can't tell people like how deeply I love them and believe in them, I'm just like walking around in circles, like looking at Zeus, like, you can do it. Like, he has this like there's not
get
even
that downward dog, Zeus.
There's not even people to cheer for the fairy anymore. Like, there's something so healing in this, and the ability to channel that feeling, but also something beyond powerful when you know you're doing it with that many people.
What have you had? What has been something that, like, have you realized anything surprising about yourself during this time, or like anything that you want to take into a new normal once, you know, we're back to like a semblance of normal?
I have been first thing I'm going to do is go get new AirPods, because the first thing I'm going to do is, because this
first
one fell
thing,
out.
Apple Store. Yeah.
This one fell out and got run over by a car, so it's dead. I have been meditating like crazy. If I'm just like, oh, I'm bored, or I don't know what to do, or I feel away, I'm happy, I'm sad, or what, I'm just like, this is a great time to meditate. So that practice has been incredible. I think one thing that as I've been made aware of for myself personally is fitness for me is spiritual. They don't live in two separate containers. When I move my body, when I am in the resonance of that place, that is such a deeply spiritual practice for me. And so I've never really thought of going to work at Peloton as like, oh, my job, right? It's like, yay, I get it. This is my stage, right? So I'm like, let me on. But now, if thinking of it from this lens of like, whoa, this is my spiritual practice to be here, to be in this, it just feels warm to me. It feels like on those days when we are like, which way is up? I don't remember what day is it. You know, when we get into that space, it's just like to nourish my soul, knowing that this is like deeply meditative through movement. I've been just like in woo-woo land with myself.
Like, I love it. I want to go to woo-woo land with you.
Oh, girl. I'm like reading all the books and all the meditation. I desire to deeply heal some wounds that I have in terms of like injuries that have no explanation anymore, except that they're psychosomatic and they just keep getting triggered, and with all this fear and like, so really just taking ownership of what that healing process looks like for me, and it's all within me. So it's just this internal conversation that I've been bringing to when I move. And that being said, the other thing that I've been trying to is mindfully eating. Now that Now, yeah, and it's amazing. Food is so good. Oh my God. Like, I'm like,
What's like your number one food thing right now?
oh
Like,
my God, salt and vinegar chips from July's. They're like the perfect, I'm gonna have to show you. They're the perfect crunch. They're the perfect, like, organic late July. Oh, these are just the sea salt.
my God, I had those at Burning Man last year. They are addictive. I ate the entire bag. They are so good. I love potato chips, and it's my favorite food.
Yes, same. And so I have been, rather than just like scarfing the whole bag, which is like, you know, the usual, I'll eat like one at a time and just be like, mm-hmm. Like,
It's just me and the chip. We having a date. It's all good.
well, yeah, because you know when you eat like this and you're like,
yeah.
like you can't. I have to take time to breathe and like doing so, like feeling the food move down and feeling how your body responds to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I just railroad through that most meals in life, and it's like it's just not sexy, and my body doesn't like that. So that's been new.
100%. Wow, I haven't thought about that. Mindful eating, it's so true. I think the meals I'm having now are the first meals that haven't been rushed, unless I'm like literally at a dinner party or actually at a restaurant. Like, you know, we see each other in the studio, and even just a few months ago, it's like, oh, have you even eaten today? And you're like, I don't know. Like, it's just a wild pace. So that's a great note. I'm taking that from our convo for sure. So let's get into some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
And I have prepared a few just for you. What's the worst exercise Andy Spear makes you do?
Oh my God. He makes me do anything that's like single leg rotational, anything like bird dog. This was my least favorite recently. This like bird dog hip car.
Oh,
here, but the knee is up. So anyway, awful.
Andy, don't you know that that's not humanly possible unless you're a super machine like you?
And he'll be like, all right, so this is your warm up. And I'm like, I'm sorry, a what? Like the warm up.
Like, I'm on my index finger and I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Okay. So what Fairy Fury commuter do you miss the most? Like, do you have like a type or a person that you miss?
Yeah, there is. Well, I think the OG, the guy who started it all, he actually lives in my building, and I really need to introduce myself at some point, because just to say like, look, like you are an inspiration and here's why. But the first time this happened, I just had my phone out and I was like, this keeps happening. People just run to the ferry, like, look at this. And all of a sudden this guy is like, wait, like runs like a bat out of hell around the corner, down this screaming, flailing, whatever. Like, I was like, wow, this is great. And he missed the ferry. And then he threw a fit. He like smashed his briefcase and like kicked the thing. I was like, ah! Oh yeah.
He went full Hulk.
Full Hulk. So like, and since then he has had to run to the ferry multiple times. I've seen him, and he's never seen him miss it again. But he definitely is. He's just very comedic. He's like, you know. But think about, we all are when we're like trying to rush to get to somewhere.
Yes.
We only think of that one thing. You have no idea what you're doing. You're just trying to get there.
Yeah. You are full on like Wile E. Coyote. Like, who knows what the hell's happening?
Yeah. And there's a dude that has party hair. He has like a curly mohawk type look, and he dyes his curls different colors all the time. And when he runs, it's like party hair. It's so good.
So we have party hair, and we have the OG commuter guy that we get to thank. Little do they know that they're internet stars.
Right.
I can't wait. I would love to do like an intro, like videotape the introduction. Like, did you know you have been on hundreds of hours of Fairy Fury between the hours of 8 and 9 a.m.
Yes.
5 days a week.
Yep. I mean, it's to the point now where people have caught on. There's a lot of Pelotons in my building. So they would follow and then be like, that's my wife, or like I would get these notes. And so, you know, I'm very, very like aware that I'm rooting for people. Like I'm not there to rip anybody
Of
down or make
course.
fun of them, and sometimes that gets confused. It's just when life is like this bleak sometimes, and it can be when you're just commuting in New York, and it's just finding a moment to laugh at our human folly, like something that we can all relate to. It ended up
Hell
being
yeah.
fun.
Let's take a minute right now and let's do rapid fire questions while Jess King is in plank. Plank of your choosing. It does not have to be a crazy Andy Spear concoction. Oh my God, you're so amazing. Your land.
My landing.
Such a performer. I love it. You landed and you were like, and spine is long and I am fine. And here we go.
Yeah.
I love you so much. I'm crying. Okay, that is amazing. Let's do this. All right. So when you're ready, I'll start the timer.
You're kind of in a way. Ready?
All right. Zeusy, we ready? 3,
We're ready.
2, 1, go. First concert you ever went to?
Montel Jordan.
First app you open in the morning?
Oh, my calendar.
Go-to snack?
Salt and vinegar chips.
If you could have dinner with anyone today, dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh, Fiona Apple.
Who did you want to be when you grew up?
J-Lo.
Salty or sweet? 30 seconds.
Okay, I want it to be sweet, but I have to choose salty.
What's your middle name?
Karim.
Go-to kitchen music?
Oh, classical jazz.
Which instructor is most likely to be on the cover of Romance Novel because of their hair or firmer hair?
Dennis.
Which instructor is most likely to be found listening to Howard Stern?
Jen Sherman.
Best personality trait, 5 seconds.
Energetic.
Morning or night person?
Morning.
Oh, okay, let's see how many you got. Oh my God, you're done. That was amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh my God. Hey, yeah, you slayed that. Not surprised, you slay at life, but you really slayed that game. Thank you for indulging in the plank challenge.
Thank you.
So what else do you want to talk about? Do you have any, you can put me in the hot seat. Do you have any questions for me or anything else you want to tell our beautiful hustlers at home viewers?
How do you think that discipline has given you, or how has discipline played a part in your ability to ride that wave?
I realized that like I had to establish really quickly routine and anchors. So although I had to like have the conversation with myself, like, no, you don't need to go ham all the time. And that was a good lesson of like, no, you don't always need to do the hardest workout for 2 hours a day in order to be who you are. That was an important lesson. But working out, moving every single day and having some type of like thoughtful practice, for me, I've been doing a lot of writing in my journal, have been non-negotiables. And thankfully I have the time, but also like when time is amorphous, it's really easy to like go down like weird rabbit holes. And I realized that in the first few days of being at home, the first week at home, I was like, I've never been this home consecutively in my life. I mean, not since I was like 5. So, that for me, like I realized how much movement is actually an anchor for my mental health when I'm not doing it for my job on a camera.
Right. I feel like that pivot would have been for me a pivot into a brick wall had I not had this relationship with movement, with the practice of needing to get my heart rate up so that I can think,
exactly.
when we're not married to that, because that's, our schedules are dictated for us. Our workouts specifically are dictated by other people minus 3 or 4 throughout a week. So when you have agency over that all by yourself, and you're like, it's easy to not know what to do, first of all, and also to to get lost or forget or lose track of time or whatever. And having just, even the other day, I woke up and it was one of those, like my head was spinning around, and I'm like, and then it was just like, you know what, stop everything and move. Just get on the bike, move, run, do the thing that you do. And within 30 minutes, it's like, okay. And now we're back. But having, I guess it sounds like your ability to do all these things and pivot and have these conversations with yourself, there wasn't necessarily an emotional roadblock that got in the way from your ability to just move on to the next thing. And that, I believe, comes from this insane amount of discipline where you trust the process so much that it becomes who you are, so that you're just like, oh, how do I do that here?
For sure.
Yeah. And
we established the rituals already. Like, we have the rituals established. We have we've been training for challenge. So when challenge comes, like, we know how to pivot. Like, we know how to pivot. It's just making the choice and trusting that we know how to pivot. Because in the moment when it's shaky, you're like, do I actually know how to do this? Like, what is happening? I'm unraveling. You just have to go back to what you know. We've established the rituals for discomfort so we can live through things like right now.
Yeah, definitely. The joke that I was making for the last year was like, we're training for the apocalypse. And I was making it as a joke, and I'm like, wow, okay, all right, so close enough.
Yeah, like scary enough.
But the one thing I will say about all of this is I would unravel even with this discipline if I didn't have Peloton, if I didn't have the community, if I didn't have access to this network of information and opportunity, and just, I would be nuts in this setting. So I'm grateful for my time with Zeus, and more than anything, I'm just so grateful for Peloton, because as a home, getting the full-blown member experience of it now, like, whoa, you guys, like, I totally see why Peloton comes in and radically transforms and changes your life. Wow. It's amazing.
I've had those moments almost every single day, in workouts, in a meditation, in the yoga classes, on the bike, on runs. And I'm just like, oh, wow. Like, it's because obviously we know each other because we're family, we're teammates. But there are moments that I've had in classes where I am not Jess King's friend or Ross Rayburn's friend. I'm like, oh my God, like, you're healing me right now. And I know you. Like, it's just like, it's been so freaking powerful. Where can folks find Jess King?
Yes, you can find me, Jess King NYC, on Instagram. You can always go to the Jess King Peloton Facebook page. There's always conversations to be had and happening there. But yeah, hit me up on the IG.
What's a Jess King mantra you want to leave folks with today to take into the rest of their day?
The one I wrote down today was, be a blurter.
Like, say it. Like, say your truth.
Just get it out. Be a blurter.
Okay, let's get it out. I love you so much. Thank you for joining me for Hustlers at Home. I'm sending you love. Give Zeus a hug for me. Give Sophia a hug for me. Love you so much. I can't wait till I can hug you in person.
Same. Give Drew my love. And thanks for having me. It was so fun.
Bye.
Bye.